Oh, hello. One moment, I'm not prepared.
Are you sure about that?
Welcome to 2023, where we're stepping away from the 2016 dip brow, James Charles overfilled jump scare eyebrows. Hi, sisters! Ah! And we're kind of focusing on something a bit more natural but sharp. Let me show you how. All you need are two products. So we're starting off with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. I'm using shade medium brown, which is pretty much a good match for me. So I'm gonna start off by doing is brushing my brow hairs upwards on both brows. There's not a lot of movement because I keep them nice and plucked and waxed and all the good things.
You what?
So what I'm gonna do is start at the very front of my brow, not all the way at the front, just like almost there, right there. So what I'm gonna start by doing is flicking the brow pencil upwards at a diagonal to fill in any of those sparse areas. Why I'm doing this at a diagonal is so that I can keep kind of the same direction that my natural brow hairs go in, which helps give you a little bit more of a natural look. Then when I'm getting down towards the tail end, I'm doing the same thing, but I'm just following the direction of my brow hairs again. Now, if you want to extend your tail a little bit like I do, go ahead and do that right now. Then I'm going to brush my brow hairs down, and I'm going to do the same thing on top. So I'm going in diagonal motions downwards into my brow to fill in those sparse areas on top. When we get to the tail end of our brow, same thing, going downwards at a diagonal, following just the natural shape. And we're going to meet the top part of our brow with the bottom part right at the tail to make it nice and sharp.
Then what? Then what?
Now I'm going to take my spoolie and kind of brush that product through my brows. That way it's nice and blended throughout. We don't want super sharp, sharpie brows, blocked brows, anything like that. We want them to look natural, like our natural shape, but we just want them to be a bit more defined and sharp. So now for the very front of our brow. We left it alone in the beginning just because I like to go for that ombre look. That way it's not just super harsh and unnatural. This just gives it a nice gradient, and that's what I like. But what I will do is go in very, very lightly.
That's what she said.
Just kind of feather in a little bit of product. I'm applying very, very little pressure to this. I just want to deepen up the color a little bit. And then just flick upwards in front. And then take your spoolie one last time and brush through. Already comparing this side, which is obviously no product in it, to this side. The shape is pretty similar, obviously, on both sides, but this side... Okay, so already, as you can see, there's a big... Okay, so already, as you can see, there's a big difference between this side being slightly filled in and this side being untouched. This side's a nice shape, but obviously there's a lot of sparse areas throughout my brow hairs, whereas this side is definitely a little bit more shaped, filled in, but not overdone. You could just keep going in with product and solidify the color even more. That's when you get that dip brow look where it's just like super pigmented, super filled in and just very unnatural looking. And it's just not flattering on pretty much anybody. We're essentially accentuating what we already have and just making them look a little bit better. Alrighty, so moving on to our second product, we're going in with the Maybelline Brow Fast Sculpting Gel. This is a mascara gel, but it's fantastic for your brows. You can use any brow gel. It doesn't have to be anything like this. So I'm just going to take that, it has a little mini spoolie on the end, and just brush lightly upwards through the brow hairs that have the product in it and lay those hairs flat. Now, I don't know about you, but on some of my brow hairs, they like stick straight out and we don't want that. So I'm just gonna give it a nice coating of this just to make sure everything stays in place all day long. And then when I get over here, I really push down my hairs to make sure that the tail end of my brow is nice and sharp and it won't move all day. And that's exactly how you take your brows from this to this using only two products. I hope today's brow tutorial was super helpful for you guys. Please let me know in the comments if you prefer doing nothing to your brows at all, filling them in a little bit with a brow pencil just to sharpen them and just accentuate what you already have. Or do you like to go a little bit extra over the top and fill them in with dip brow and give us that 2016 Instagram baddie brow? I'd love to know. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.